Okay, as we enter day 5 of the EOC review, we are going to be looking at a few concepts today as you go through the packet. One of the things we're going to be looking at is this idea of federalism. Federalism, that idea of sharing power between the national and state governments. Now, in your packet, what I would do down on the Venn diagrams, by national, I would write delegated. And for state, I would write reserved. And where it's shared, concurrent. So those delegated powers are the ones that only the national government can do, like declare war. Whereas reserved powers are those for the states, like maintaining schools. And then finally, the shared or concurrent powers are those that they both can do, like taxes and borrowing money. So this idea of federalism, and actually when you go through your packet, you're going to see on the next page as you flip over, there's actually the one that shows the national, state, and local. Okay, and so we'll take a look at that in just a few minutes. The other big concept you're going to look at today is the idea of amending the Constitution. How do we add amendments? Well, to be honest with you, there are technically 4 ways of doing this. But notice this part down here has the dots around it. This part has never been used before. So those 2 options, you take it from here to here, or here to here, that's never been used. Only 2/3 vote in both houses of Congress, and then to 3/4 state legislatures, or to 3/4 state conventions. That's all that's ever been used. And usually it's been this one. Notice it says 26 times. But if you take away the Bill of Rights, which were the first 10 amendments in 1791, actually, really technically, we've only done that 16 times. And then, of course, only 1 time to repeal prohibition back in the 1930s. So really, this is the main way we add to the Constitution. So what you're learning today? Well, obviously, this deals with some of the branches, like declaring war. We know that's the legislative branch. So you're dealing with a little bit of 3.3, but you're really looking at 3.14. Looking at local, state, and federal governments. What do they do? What are their obligations? And what services do they provide? Then we're going to look at the amendment process, how we add amendments to the Constitution. And then, of course, we're going to compare the U.S. and Florida Constitution. So what are you doing today? Well, if you look at this, you're going to scroll down. Well, I say scroll. You're going to turn to number 99. And notice number 99 is a big question. You've got this part here that you'll answer. And then for each power, you're going to give me a D, R, or C. Is it delegated? Is it reserved or concurrent? Use this down here to help you. I know it's a little difficult to see, but you could also Google and bring up a clearer picture too. Then you're going to go to the next page, do 100, 101, 102. And here you can see that part about federal, state, and local. Great example of that, unfortunately for us, would be during the time of a hurricane. How all 3 work together to help us as Floridians to kind of get back on our feet, rebuild our houses, etc., and move on. You're going to do 103, 104, 105. This deals with amending the Constitution. I know this looks a little different than what you saw in the little bit earlier, but it's the same thing, just the flow charts rearranged differently. You'll do 106, 107. In 108, you're going to circle the things that are the same between the U.S. Constitution and the Florida Constitution. Then you're going to circle what's different all the way down for 109 till you get to here. Okay? And so that's what you're doing today. We're getting very close. If we take away the day of taking the EOC and we don't count today, we've only got 11 days to prepare. Next week, by the way, on Tuesday, we're going to do a quizzes/Kahoot review. And then next Wednesday, we're going to take a test just to see how we are doing, to see where we're at. So that is what we're doing both today and into next week. Today, we do 99 to 109. And then next week, we will be taking a test.